Hey, hap, it's your boy, Mr. CJU, man. What it do, man? I'm back in this thing. I'm finna drop some sauce. On this video, I'm gonna tell you how your personal profile needs to look so that you can go get you some funding. All right, I'm gonna do a two-part, video to this. This one's gonna be about personal credit profile, how it needs to look. And then the second one is gonna be about how your business profile needs to look so you can get you some funding. All right, so make sure you watch this full video and then make sure you go over to catch the next video that I'm gonna drop. All right. Because I know everybody is excited. They want to get funding for their business, but you can't skip any steps. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be looking out for. All right, before I get into it, shout out to everybody who subscribed to my Patreon account. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, click the link down in the description, okay? Patreon is where CJU members can send me messages. If you have any questions about your credit profile, if you got any questions about some investment opportunities on your credit, with your credit, just anything you have any questions, whatever it is that I talk about, you can send me a message on Patreon. I also do weekly calls on there, all right, going over some topics that I'm gonna discuss in this video and any of my previous videos. And I do some personal development calls as well. I know everybody like to still tap into their mindset. All right, so what to look out for when we building up our credit profile to get some funding. All right, the number one thing is we always got to remember is the credit repair part, okay? This is still very important, okay? Now, let's say you're looking at your Credit Karma account. I know a lot of people got Credit Karma. It's free to use, and you see that box that says derogatory marks. All right, when you see that box that says derogatory marks, if you have any number above 0, you need credit repair. You cannot say, hey, CJ, look at my score, man. Can I apply for this? Can I apply for that? Banks do not want to give you money if they see that you owe people money. That's very common sense. This credit game cannot be looked at as anything other than that. If the bank see you owe people, they don't want to give you money, okay? So collections. Let me put this marker in here. Collections, okay? Collections, what we know is from the third party. Third-party companies that are collecting on whoever the original creditor is and trying to get that bread from you. You need to get this disputed. You need to get this off. If you do not know how to dispute collections off, man, you can click the link. I got my credit repair course. You can take my credit repair course. You can clean this stuff off yourself, or you can tap in with my company. We'll help you remove those collections, okay? Then the next one is charge-offs. Okay, this comes from the original creditor, okay? So the person that you did business with, that you signed a contract with, that you got business from, and if you defaulted and didn't pay them, they're gonna put a charge off on your personal credit profile. You need to get this handled, okay? Because a bank sees that you got a charge off of Bank of America. I don't want to give you money. You owe Bank of America, so you need to go handle that with them. You need to dispute it. You need to get that stuff off. You need to settle. You need to get it handled. Don't skip over this. Another one is, we know it's late payments. Okay, so late payments, this is gonna kill your credit profile, okay? Banks do not wanna see that you have been late with your previous accounts or whatever it is. It don't matter what account it is, credit cards, auto loans, student loans, whatever it is, you don't wanna see late payments. Now the thing is with the late payments is, 24-month rule, So they're really looking at your payment history from the last 24 months. So say it's the year 2021, right? And you got a late payment from 2016. That's past 2 years, that's past 24 months. So it's not really killing you, it's not hurting you that bad because the late payment is pretty old. And on that account, if you've been paying on time ever since that last late payment, okay, you kind of, showing in good faith that you've been taking care of yourself ever since then. The worst thing is to have a late payment in the same year. So if it's 2021 and you got a late payment in 2021, that is horrible for your credit, okay? It's gonna hurt you real bad. You're gonna wanna try to dispute, you're gonna wanna try to get that late payment off. All right, now if the late payment was, the prior year, it's still hurting you, you know what I'm saying? Because it's still a little fresh, but make sure that you're doing on time ever since then, okay? So late payments are important. Let's try to dispute this and let's try to get this off if we can, okay? So the next one is inquiries, okay? So inquiries on your report is when you applying. I know a lot of you guys out there trying to get whips. You go into these auto dealers, you letting them shotgun your credit profile, putting all them inquiries on there. That is going to hurt you when you start applying for some credit. Okay, what you want to have is less than 3. You know, you want to have less than 3 inquiries on each one of your credit reporting agencies, okay? So this is the simple sauce that we got to know. I know a lot of people like, Doug, Chris, no. I get a lot of people that tell me all the time, can I apply for some accounts? And they still got collections. They still got charge-offs. They still got late payments, or they got too many inquiries. You have to take care of this if you want to get funded. Period. There's no way around it. Okay, don't be looking for any type of shortcut. All right, especially when we get over to part 2 and talk about business credit, they're gonna look at all this. All right, let me flip this over and talk about let's talk about personal profile building. All right, so all right, CJ, you know what I'm saying? I got my credit profile cleaned up. I got it repaired. So how do I build it up? Okay, and this is very important because you want to know which banks you are dealing with to where your profile makes sense. Okay, so we got Experian, all right, and I put EQ for Equifax, and then I put TU for TransUnion. All right, we're known as the 3 major credit bureaus, but we really should be saying credit reporting agencies because they're not bureaus. They use that word bureau to make it seem like they're a government, you know what I'm saying, agency, but they're not. These are all private companies. All right, so we should be using the word credit reporting agencies. Now, how should you build out your profile? Okay, usually the first cards people end up running into is Cap One, right? Capital One. Now, the thing about Capital One is they usually pull your profile from all 3, and that sucks, okay? But still, Cap One is usually where people go to get their first card. They end up getting a secured card with them and build it up. Another starter bank is Discover, okay? Discover usually pulls from Experian. I've seen them do Equifax sometimes, but these are usually your starter cards for a major bank. Now, we want to, for me, I don't like to use the subprime banks such as Credit One, First Progress. You know, right when you get your credit cleaned up, you be having these people send you these pre-approval hours for these really small unknown banks. It's best if you can start building your profile out with a major type bank first. All right, and you might have to go to secured card option, but these are just the basic ones. All right, Cap One. Now, where you want to be though, whoever you dealt with to start building up your credit, the banks you really want to be with is Amex, right? You want to establish a relationship with Amex on the personal side. They're going to pull from Experian. All right. You also want to build your relationship with Chase. Okay. Chase usually pull from Experian. Sometimes they pull from Equifax. All right. And then on TransUnion, you know you want to get down with Navy Fed. Okay. So the goal is to get over to Amex, Chase, Navy Fed. If you can get there, you're pretty much straight because these guys are going to offer you some of the best cards that are out there. All right. Now, there's other banks out there as well. There's other credit unions, and I'm gonna tell you about them right now. So you got First Tech. Okay, you got First Tech. You got DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, and then you got another one here. You got Alliant. I thought you some other TransUnions that I probably know about. It's Apple Card. No, you got the Apple Card, and then you got Barclays banks too, if you want to deal with them. All right. So this is just a couple banks to where you can actually build your profile to look like this. All right. So let's say you got Cap One Discover in your first year and you built them over, you know what I'm saying? You built them over a year's point of time. And then after a year, have you dealt with Cap One and Discover, boom, you was able to get your Amex, boom, you was able to get your Chase, boom, you was able to get your Navy Fed. So if you build your profile out like this, knowing where the banks pull from, you won't have that many inquiries. You won't have that many lined up. Okay, you can have, if you chose these 4 right here, you can have 4 Experian, you know what I'm saying? You can have only 3 on Equifax, you can have, you know what I'm saying, these right here, but you don't have to get them all. It can be a sequence of how you build it out. I'm just giving you an example of who they pull from. All right, so if you don't know, this is the type of sauce that you want to tap in for, so where I can see your profile and tell you, hey, you should go to this bank because it's Experian and I'm seeing this. You should go to this bank because of Equifax, I'm seeing this. You should go to TransUnion because I'm seeing this on this bank. So this is where you particularly want to be when you're building up your profile of just knowing this information right here. So what's important when you get approved from those cards, you gotta know how to apply, you gotta know what to put in, and that's what I can help you guys with. The main thing here is credit usage. Okay, this is very important. All right, credit usage. So when you actually get some cards on your profile, you must keep that usage down. Now we know the average is 30%, right? If you keep your accounts at 30%, you're good. No, when you're going in for funding, we want to make sure you're under that, and we want to be under 10%. So every particular card, whichever banks you deal with, whichever cards you got with, okay, if you can keep your usage under 10% on that statement date that comes around on that bank, your credit score is going to be in a very healthy range. So just a quick example, if you have a credit card and the credit limit is $3,000, okay, and you made sure by the time the statement date hit on that particular card, your balance is only $300, you know you at that 10% range and you're looking good. And if you did that on all your cards, you're going to be looking very, very good. All right. The next thing is the credit age. All right. Credit age. For you to get max funding, okay, the banks want to see that your first credit card that you have or that you've been establishing is at least 2 years. Okay, at least 2 years. So a lot of you guys are just starting to build out your credit profile and you had about 6 months, you had about 9 months, you haven't hit a full year yet. Your profile still looking a little thin. All right. So get you 1 year in the game or whatever those first banks you can build with. And then once you're a full year in the game of paying your credit on time, you tap into the Amexes, you tap into the Chase, you start typing into some really good cards, and then get your stuff over about 2 years of age. It makes it a lot easier. You kind of in the game at that point. All right, so everybody who been in credit longer than that, then you straight. All right, 5 years, 6 years, close to 10 years of credit age. That's when you really in the ballpark or really getting approved for a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so credit age is very important. Of course, we know to help boost your credit age is AUs, authorized users. Okay, they can help you get a few points, but they're not going to really help you get as much strong approvals as primary accounts. So you want to focus on your primary accounts being the main focus of you building out your age. Now, a couple of little things I add here too on your personal profile is a mixture of your credit. All right, a mix. So I just told you about where you can look at from getting your credit cards. A mix is your installment loans. All right. So I'm going to just put this down here. It's loans such as personal loans, auto loans, and then you got your home loans, such as your mortgages. All right, so anybody that got mortgages on your credit, it's a lot of debt on there, but it does show that you got approved for that, so that kind of helps too on your credit profile. So if you have a couple credit cards on there, you have a couple personal loans on there, you also have an auto loan in there, you have a mixture of accounts that equal to about 10 accounts or more on your personal profile, now you really strong. All right. So if you just got anywhere between about 6, 7 strong credit profiles, you got those auto loans on there, you have no derogatory marks, your usage is under 10%, your credit age is over 2 years, you in a very, very good spot to start getting you some lending. All right. To start getting you some approvals, all that on the business side. This is a very quick blueprint that I'm putting out here for you that you need to follow. All right. Run your profile just like this. Check over part 2, and I'm going to show you how to just set up your business profile, and you won't miss a beat. You won't miss a beat. This is very simple. This is very easy. I know it's a bunch of information, but you just got to put it together. Just follow like the flow I just put right here, man, and you'll be good. And one last thing too, once you build it up like this, the credit limits on those cards, you just want to make sure when you're running this plan that you do the credit limit increases and get your limits on those cards over 10K. All right, if you got some credit cards with a limit over 10,000, and you got a couple of them over 10,000, that's going to help you get some high funding on the business side too. Once you run this play like this, do it consistently, it'll be easy for you to get increases. It'll be easy for you to get 10K swipes or more on your personal side. All right, so that's part 1. the blueprint of how your credit profile needs to look like, man, to get you in position to start getting you some max funding. Look out for part 2. I'm going to tell you how you need to be set up on that business side, and you run these plays together, swipe it up, turn the credit into cash, get you some investments, make you some passive income, man. Y'all already know. It's your boy, Mr. CJU. Hap.